Okay, okie dokie. Okay, so here we go, huh? Just gonna put Hu Tao over Pyra in Blender using Magic Exoskeleton made by Carlos, who's already made a demo, but nobody knows that exists. So, yep. Okay. First, I'm just gonna import the PMX model. Hopefully I've installed the... Oh. Just gonna install the plugins. Snap should work. Smash mods. Alright, Hu Tao. Good day. How's it going? There is a bit of a delay on the stream, so it'll look like I took some time to respond to you. But more or less what I'm doing is, yep, like I said, putting Hu Tao from Genshin Impact over Pyra. Right now I'm just going to use CrossArc to extract Pyra's model from the game. I'll then bring it into Blender using Carlos's what's it called? Blender tool. You may know what it is, but if you don't, I'm just going to bring it up on the screen now. So here it is. More or less, you just want to install this, and you can basically import model files from Smash Bros into your game, which is pretty cool, because it means we can do mods like this. So right now, I've extracted them from using CrossArc. You can probably find them online, but I won't provide the link because that may be against TOS or something, and I don't want to get involved with that shit. Right now we're just importing. It takes some time to import occasionally, and as you can see, the model is Pyra's model is a lot bigger than Hu Tao's for some reason. Usually it's the other way around. So I'm gonna have to make that bigger in order to. Well, okay. What's going on here? Oh, no idea what's going on, but I'm just gonna do the old-fashioned way then. Oh, that's not what I should do. Might I ask where you got the model? I got it from DeviantArt because some dude just posts it on DeviantArt. But you can also get the module from. I mean, if a model's the dude just reposted it. It's on the official Genshin Impact site, but the site's in Chinese. I don't want to get involved with that because that's annoying. So right now, you basically just want to aim. Well, actually, before we do that. Since you see Pyra's in a T pose and Hu Tao is not in a T pose, we're gonna have to change Hu Tao's pose to make sure it corresponds. Make sure it's in a T pose. Otherwise, it's gonna look weird in game. What I like to do is I usually put on the -y axis, so directly in front of a character. And I usually just make sure it looks as straight as possible. Oh, well. I usually try to go for a full number. As you can see in the upper left corner. I'm going to try and aim for 38 since that seems to be right. It's straight, more or less. Or maybe 39. I'm not too sure. We're going to go 39. No, 38. We're going to go 38. So we're going to go for 38 degrees. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I can't be able to figure out how. So I just do it manually. Takes a bit longer sometimes, but That doesn't matter. Alright, so they're both it's now she's T-posing, but if you actually go and check in pose, she's in pose position right now. So if you change it to rest position, she goes back to her original pose, which is the pose she's going to be in when you apply the exoskeleton to her. So what you need to do is, firstly, you need to remove any of the shape keys from the model. Otherwise, Blender will just tell you that, well, it can't do that because, I don't know, there's something about shape keys. So we remove the shape keys. We have to duplicate the model. As you can see, it's like the changes you made in pose mode will be doubled. So now her arms are angled upwards. So firstly, what you want to do is you want to apply just any armature. You can do the original one, or you can do the one you copied, and you'll see that one of them's gone now. And we're gonna want to go. We're gonna want to click back on the skeleton. Go into pose mode. Select pose. Apply pose as rest pose. After applying the pose as a rest pose, you can then turn it around. So make sure it lines up with Pyra's skeleton. What I like to try and aim for is to have like the arms at the same height as Pyra's one. So it seems that 11.5 will do it here. Yeah, no one knows. Well, I mean, actually, there's a software called Ninja Ripper. But the problem with Ninja Ripper is that the UVs get all messed up, which is very annoying. Which is why you usually just want to use the Mmd models. Anyways, it seems like her model is slightly above Pyra's one, or maybe it isn't. Anyways, after you've adjusted it so that it's the right height, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to go 11.45 in the end. You want to just make sure you continue lining it up. So it seems that Hu Tao is slightly in front compared to Pyra's skeleton. So we're going to move that down a bit. So now she's more or less lined up, right? But it doesn't have the stuff. Yeah, but you can find a few enemies online. I'm pretty sure there's a, I can't remember what it's named, a Hitty-Cho. I'm pretty sure you can find Hitty-Chos online. But for other things you can't. Anyways, after we've applied all the transforms and stuff, you want to hit Control A and apply all transforms. We may want, we're going to want to do that for the mesh too, just for later, when we're exporting. You probably saw that the model moved a bit. So you can see the feet are like angled inwards now. And that won't actually cause any problems later. It looks like that weird in Blender, and I don't know why, to be honest. So we're just going to continue. Anyways, right now, if we click on the skeleton and we show the names, as you can see, they're all in Chinese. This isn't going to be for every skeleton you do. It's mostly for MMDs because it's made by Japanese and Japanese and Chinese usually. So that's how it is. So you have to install a plugin called Mmd Tools Helper. You can find it on DeviantArt. And on DeviantArt, it says Japanese bones. I'm pretty sure the names are Chinese here. I'm not too sure. And it says Japanese bones here, but it works just fine. If I do master rename bones here, you'll see that some names have been changed, like upper body, lower body, and upper body 2. But as you can see, there are still a few that haven't been translated. That's because you have the Japanese bone names with L and R suffixes, which basically it's all the names ending in R and L for right and left. So now we're just going to rename bones again, and as you can see, they are now translated, all of them. Now that all the bones have been translated, we can open the Ultimate tab in Blender. So on Magic Exoskeleton, which is what I use usually for my mods, you want to click on the Smash armature first. So that would be the Smash skeleton. It's usually going to be new armature unless you've renamed it. As for the other armature, so the Hu Tao one, well, it's going to be named the Hu Tao armature, whatever the name is for your armature. So now that the other armature has been selected, first you want to rename. Make sure to rename, otherwise it's going to be broken and it won't. You're going to have to redo everything later, which is really annoying. I've had to do it once. So now, as you can see, every bone has been renamed to H, Exo, whatever. So more or less what you want to do now is you just click Make Bone Pairing List. And as you can see, there's now a list that appears. I'm gonna pair them. I'm gonna tell you what's more general and what's more specific. So for lower body, usually what I use is waist. For leg, you just basically you use the same names for legs and body. You use the same names as for legs. You use the same names as the Smash skeleton does, except for ankle, because for ankle and toe, toe. For ankle uses the foot bone usually. So we're just gonna be like knee foot foot toe As for MMD skeletons, there will be a trap, because for a few of them, as you can see, these bones here, they haven't been translated for some reason, and I don't know why. But you will need to pair the bones of the Smash skeleton with the bones here. Otherwise, the legs won't move. The legs won't move if you don't pair these bones in an MMD skeleton. You don't always have them. On a few MMD skeletons I've seen, you don't have these bones, and there you don't need to worry. But for Genshin ones specifically, I do know that you need to pair these bones too. Otherwise, they won't move, and it will look weird in game, and you'll wonder why, and you'll spend two hours experimenting, and then you'll realize that it's this, and then you'll realize that you just spent 2 hours of your life. You're gonna leave the stream here after you finish. Yep, definitely. So you can leave if you want, even though I'm gonna be lonely. Anyways, foot, toe, So make sure to pair these bones if you're using a Genshin skeleton. For the upper body, make sure to use bust. Upper body 2, there's usually upper body 2. You want to use clavicle C. For neck, it's neck, obviously. Heads goes heads. You don't usually have to do the eye bones, but you can if you want. I do too. I do just in case. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Now for shoulder, it's weird. But for MMD skeletons specifically, you usually have to go one above the bone it's named. So for shoulder, you want to go clavicle. In arm, you want to go shoulder. In elbow, you want to go arm. And for wrist, you want to go hands. You don't want to use elbow. And never use the H. Never use the bones that begin with H. Otherwise the skeleton won't work and it'll look really weird again. I don't know why, but H bones do not turn. They do not rotate. Yes. This bone here, specifically for Genshin or MMD bones, pay attention, because this is actually the have bone. It's not translated, but it's a have bone, or it's a sword bone. It depends on which one you want. I can't remember which bone. Why does... If you don't know what bone should go where, just turn on names for the Smash skeleton. I'm doing that right now because I'm checking which hand uses the sword bone. Because the sword bone is basically, you know, it's where they hold the swords, right? So, and this, you can also use have bones for this. It's the same thing, have or sword. I usually don't have a have bone. I usually just use a sword bone on the hands that uses a sword bone, because have is just for items. Sword is, you know, for the weapon, which is significantly more important. Now for thumb, usually for the finger bones, you want to go for 50. Finger 50. Yeah, the finger L50, so I don't know. For 4, you want to go finger 10s, so finger 11, finger 12, finger 13. For middles, you want to go finger 21, I think, finger 22, finger 23. Third is pretty easy to remember because third you just go 30s. So finger 31, finger 32, and finger 33. Little is finger 41. It's not finger 51 because if you remember on the thumb bones we paired with 51, 52, and 53. Oh, HXO weapon L. That's rather interesting. Hang on a sec. I've never seen this before. Oh, well, it's on the wrong hand anyways, so never mind. I guess sometimes it has a weapon bone. That's interesting. I don't usually see that. But you could use have. Wait, what did I use? Names. Right, have R. What am I doing? Sword. It would be have L here because the sword bone's on the right hand. So after you've done that, you go on to the right arm. So once again, clever cool R for the shoulder. Shoulder R for the arm. Arm R for the elbow. And finally hand R for the wrist. And for this bone here, you can go, I'm going to go sword because there's a sword bone here on the right hand. For thumb, we want to go finger R51. It's 50s for thumb. Finger. 10s for the forefinger. I don't know. Can't remember the name for it. 20s for the middle finger. Yes, that would be right. It could be. So you don't see that a lot on Genshin. On Genshin skeletons, usually you just have the equivalent of the have R bone on Genshin skeletons. But who knows? And 40s on the pinky finger. Finger R42. Finger R43. Okay. Oh, there's weapon R here too. That's really interesting. Where's the weapon R bone? Hang on a sec. I thought that was only... weapon? Oh, well, there it is. That's not really in a favorable place though, so we're not going to be using that bone. Basically, you always want to try and have them in more or less the same place as they were before. So, I mean, if you're ever missing a bone, you can just go into edit modes, and you can click on any bone, and you can Shift D, and here you have a new bone. That's basically parented to the bone you copied it from. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that though, because it's just a tutorial and can't be bothered with that right now. So, yep. So after you've done all that, as you can see, you've more or less paired all the obvious bones. Everything's done here. But as you can see, she has hair. She has quite a bit of hair, and there's no real cheat you can do here. You can't really translate those bones. So what you need to do is you just need to associate them with whatever bone's closest. So, and you also need to find them, which is really annoying. But HXO331. HXO331. So more or less after you've done all the normal bones, but you still got hair bones. Hair bones usually they won't be translated because they've got a name that can't be translated. So you just need to find them in the list and pair them with whatever bone you need. For me personally, I think I'm going to be pairing the wing bones because the wings have bones that stretch all the way back. Make sure you pair. Yeah. Alright, that's cool. Make sure you pair even the first bone. It might not seem like you need to pair the first bone sometimes, because really the wing bone is down here, you see, and the bone that I want to pair is right here. So you might think that you don't need to pair these bones, but you always need to pair the first bone, otherwise it's going to look really fucked in game. So, but after you've paired like the first one or two bones, you can move on all the way to the second bone you need, which would be the seventh one to me. So you do S-wing R2, and then you continue on to the third bone. You only need to pair one at a time because the weight will be distributed after you've made the exoskeleton. You don't need to pair everyone. And finally, S-wing R4 for HXO314. S-wing R4. I'm going to. Really are quite a few bones here. 3, 9, and L. There we are. So S-wing L1, S-wing L1, S-wing L2, S-wing L3. See, I'm pairing S-wing L3 here because it's right next to the 311-1 bone. 311-1, S-wing L3. It just makes sense. After all the easy stuff is done, you've just got to use logic for the rest. S-wing L4. Alright, now that's done. Let's see. Does Pyra... Nope, Pyra does not have a... Oh boy. Well, there are... I won't be pairing this hang on a sec. I won't be pairing this part of Hu Tao's clothing for now. So it will clip through her body in game because I haven't paired it. But you could either add swing bones, but if it's your first model, then I recommend not learning swing bones. It's way too hard, and it can take a while to learn. So what I would recommend is that you just pair it to S-Wing L2 to S-Wing L5. Since you keep physics, but it might look a little weird, but you do keep physics, and I mean, you know, if it works, it works. So after you've finished pairing all the bones, you can now make your your skeleton. And as you can see, the skeleton, if I hide this, the skeleton's been made. The skeleton has been made. And you'll see that in pose modes there are green bones and there are grey bones. The green bones more or less represent what's been paired. The grey bones are just the bones that, you know, that were there. They were never paired. You'll see that there are quite a few bones here. That's because it's actually the two skeletons combined. That's what exoskeleton does. It combines the two skeletons. We just want to check first that we don't have too many bones. The max for Smash Bros is 512 bones. You can't go over that, otherwise it'll crash the game. So as you can see, we have 452 bones. It's still a lot of bones, but it works. So we're just going to continue. What I usually do here is I go into Hu Tao, find her mesh. We're just going to hide the bones because that's really annoying. And we find our mesh. We duplicate with Shift D to duplicate. Alt P to clear the parent. And now as you can see, there's like a weird preview error going on here, which basically means you've duplicated the thing. Move to sub output, hide the original collection thing. So now you've got one model, got one skeleton, press Ctrl P, and parent with empty groups. With empty groups. Not with automatic, with empty. That's important. So now it's paired. The bones have been paired. As you can see, the mesh is under the armature. If it's under the limit, it should be fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. 452, it's fine. 513, it's not. 512, I don't know. I've never tried 512. You can try 512 if you want, but I would not recommend it. Because you have to redo everything again. You remove a bone from your original skeleton. I'll provide a script that Carlos, the creator of the tool, made. Because I asked him, because I had a skeleton with like 600 bones and it was not going to work. Yeah, there'll be a script that basically removes bones and distributes weights automatically in the description or something, I don't know. So we've paired the thing. What's important to do now, otherwise it'll look weird when you're testing animations, is you want to click on the root bone, HXO root, here, and you want to click on edit modes. So after clicking on edit modes, go on to the bone properties tab, click for relations, and under relations, parent, hip. As you can see, the bone is now under hip. This is important, otherwise it's gonna look like your characters folding in on themselves, which looks really stupid in game. But now it should be done, more or less. There's no weapon, which is a problem, but it's there. She's there now. So what you want to do is you want to import. Alright. So if you want to test animations, you want to have Carlos's Nuan MB plugin. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. or Carlos's or another one. I'm pretty sure I'm using the other one right now because Carlos's didn't work for me for some reason. But here's the plugin. So after you've installed the plugin, you have to first get the animations, obviously. So go into motion in CrossArc, or I don't know, find your animations online. Motions, body. I'm using C01 because I'm actually aiming for Hu Tao to go over C01. So I'm pretty sure you see I just extracted them. So now I import Nuan MB. Desktop, Breath of the Wild mods. Wherever CrossArc is installed, go into the export folder, fighter, eFlame, motion, body, C01. Well, actually it's fighter, your fighter, so whatever fighter you chose, motion, body, the oat you chose, and you can choose whatever animation you want. I'm gonna go weight 1. Weight 1 is always pretty good to use. And as you can see, she looks fine right now. Looks fine. Absolutely fine. Amazing. Incredible. Okay. After you've seen weight, the weight animation. The weight animation is the most neutral of all animations. It's the easiest to get looking right. So what I like to do after you choosing the weight animation is I click back, I go into object mode, click back on the skeleton, and I'm gonna import the run animation. Run animation basically makes the character move more, and we get to see if she actually touches the ground or not. Well, actually, Pyra floats. Well, that's... Well, if a character is floating when they run, the other animation you can use is an attack animation. More precisely, a smash attack. Because in the smash attack, they lean a lot, right? So the forward smash is C03 attack S4S. It's always going to be that, no matter the character. So after you've imported that, make sure you put it on the x-axis. And you can see whether the feet are floating or not. As you can see, the feet float a bit here. Right, the feet are floating. It's not that noticeable. I've seen a lot worse. But if you want to fix that, what you gotta do is you bring it back into pose mode. Rest position. So right now it's in pose position, rest position. And you'll see your names. So as you can see, the bones Ni-L and H-Ni-L are the smash skeleton. The H-Exo bones are the, well, Hu Tao skeleton. And right now, as you can see, they are not exactly in the same place. So what you can do is you can go into edit mode, click on the skeleton you want, and you can move it. Move it to this bone you paired. So I think for H-Exo Ni-L, we paired it with Ni. So we move it, and we can make it line up with the smash skeleton bone. So we have to do that with both sides, obviously, because it's symmetrical. There we are. So basically do that with whatever bones you think are necessary. To be honest, I didn't need to do the knee bones. The knee bones weren't that far apart. But I'm doing it anyways, because I'm setting a good example. And, yep. Okay. Alright. This is more or less just moving where the bones are. You can't move it too much, otherwise it looks weird. So right now, imagine a bone. It would bend here, right? Well, if you moved it all the way down here, then the bone would bend here. You see, you'd have like her ankle bending in half every time she tried to crouch. it wouldn't look natural. So you can only make tiny adjustments. You can't move it too much. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to scale them again. A second bone you can usually adjust. You can adjust all of the leg bones. You can adjust. So I'm gonna go adjust the leg bone now. As you can see, you have to move the 2 bones. So there's leg R and there's the other one that we chose earlier. For some reason, it's not letting me choose it though. Alright, here we are. Just move it to leg R. There we are. Same here. Oh, well, you can just do that. No, that's done. Those didn't cause any problems, probably. It would most likely be the toe bone. Or something like that. Anyways. We've adjusted the position. Now we can go into object mode, pose. As you can see, it's a bit better than before. It's not perfect, but it's closer. If you want, you can continue. You can adjust the toe bones, but I don't want to do that because more or less what that does is that it will stretch your feet out and make them touch the ground. I'm fine with having them float if the feet look fine, and right now the feet look fine. Anyways, that's enough of the skeleton. Don't put bones on don't put joints on places that shouldn't have been. That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's a good basic. That's a good basic to have. Well, now we're done. We're done. We are done with the skeleton, but we are not done in Blender because there's still quite a few things we need to do. We need to go into edit modes. It depends on if your mesh is split or not. If your mesh is not split, like Hu Tao's mesh here, Hu Tao's mesh is not split, but hello Transformers fan. We've already done a skeleton bit, but right now I'm moving on to what is actually maybe an even more important bit, because this is where I messed up the most. Because it's pretty touchy. Anyways, who will Mithra be? She's gonna be someone very fast, almost lightning fast, you could say. Haha. If you don't know who that is, then that's on you, man. I can't say anymore. Okay, continue with the tutorial. Anyways, so as you can see, Hu Tao is just one mesh. So what we want to do, but she has 21 materials, which is basically 21 areas that have different properties in how they show in game. So what we want to do is we want to go into edit modes, press A to select all the vertices, press P and separate by material, because we want to. So now as you can see, she has 21 meshes. 21 meshes, yeah. And what we want to do is for each mesh, we're just going to start with one. You want to go into texture paint. No way, actually, I mean, yeah, you can go into texture paint if you want. Haha, gun. Yeah, that's right. Razor, definitely Razor. Yep, I'm trying to get Razor over Wolf, but it's not working very well so far. So you go into object modes. You see this material properties icon. Click here, and you can see that right now her material is it's a Chinese character. And you may not know, but Smash isn't made by Chinese developers, which means that this material does not exist in that game, which means this character will be invisible. So what you want to do is you want to, with the Smash armature that you imported earlier, you want to change it to one of the Smash materials. Death flame is usually the body. So all this body bit here, that's all going to be death flame. Yeah, the face part's something else, but we'll get to that. As you can see, her legs are pink right now. You don't want pink legs because that means there are no textures. So theoretically, you don't even have to replace the textures in Blender right now, but I prefer to do that because it kind of shows me what they're going to look like in game. So right now I'm just going to bring out Shader Map. Shader Map's a software you can install. It's not a free software. It's paid for. But you don't need Shader Map for this. You do not need Shader Map. I use it because it's faster and because I'm lazy and I can't do the maps myself. So this is what I use. But more or less what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the textures that Hu Tao uses. This is the texture she uses. And what I'm going to do is, you see it automatically generates the normal maps for me. You want a color map, which is all the colors. A normal map, which basically gives I don't know how to say, fake 3D look. It basically gives it's a fake 3D look on the texture. And the color map is basically how light reacts with the texture. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just making the normal map and PRM map in Shader Map. I'm going to do that with all 3 textures that I have. Oh fuck. Usually you want to go RGBA for PRM maps because they have 4 channels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyways, no. Genshin characters only have 3 textures, which is very nice because obviously the limit to how many textures you can have is how many materials or how many textures your Smash character originally had. Luckily, all characters have more than 3 textures, except Kirby or something, I don't know. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I knew that. Anyways, contact shadows, yeah. Anyways. I'm no expert on textures, to be honest. PNG 16 on VBA. Right now I'm just doing the hair texture. And I'm gonna do the face texture last. Smash normal maps actually don't look like this. They look a bit different, but these work just fine in game, so yeah, I'm just gonna use that. Alright, now that we saved all of those, we can go back into Blender and we can go find the file that we saved. So Hu Tao text. There's still gonna be Chinese characters. So as you can see, I chose I chose her body texture. So now she looks fine, even though we're still using the Smash material. If you want, you can do NOR and PRM textures too, but you don't have to. That just... Oh, well, actually... Okay, we're not going to use this, because there's an emission texture, which you do not want. So we're going to use this texture. Emission textures are basically just, they give light to the surrounding area. And Hu Tao does not have glowing legs, surprisingly enough. So we're not going to be using that. Okay, I think it should be good for this texture. Okay, so more or less this material is all set up now. So you can go onto any mesh, except that one, because this one uses a face texture. Face textures are usually ALP textures. So ALP Flame 1, ALP Flame 2. You can use any of those. So I'm going to use ALP Flame 2 because ALP Flame 1 uses emission texture. So now more or less, okay, so I use the hair texture for that. Here's a face texture, more or less you just replace those. Replace all those. For some reason Blender's a bit slow nowadays. Okay, mesh free. The eyes on a Genshin character use the hair texture. They're mixed in with a hair texture. So you want to make a new material again. Out flame free this time. And you want to use you want to replace. Just to make sure, we can use another one. Oh, well, hang on. Well, I don't know. We're just gonna go back here. Pretty sure it's this one. Norm. PRM. Or RMAT. Shader map names them RMAT, but they're already PRM textures. So we continue downwards. We want ALP free again. ALP free. Okay, that doesn't look good. I guess I used the wrong textures. Yep, wrong textures. So we're just gonna make that. We're gonna go back to this one. Outflame 0 to 2. Okay, so eyes like I said, they use the head texture. Eyebrows use the face texture for Genshin meshes. Inside of the mouth, if you don't make expressions, it won't be seen, so you can just use whatever you want. Eyebrows, once again, face texture. We're gonna hide the bones because that's annoying. Eyebrows again. Eyebrows are split into different meshes. Once again, inside the face, so you don't need to worry about that. Inside the face, in fact, you could delete that mesh, since you won't be using that in expressions, even if you do them. This is a hair, so obviously you use a hair mesh. Look, if hair material. If you change the material, you see that it gets all messed up. Once again, this probably uses a hair. Or, yeah, it uses hair. This might use the body material. Okay, uses hair. More or less right now you're just applying the materials you made or edited to your meshes. Like I'm doing. There it is. Def. Once again, def. Def again. Def, even def again. Basically anything under the chin is def. The face is out 001 preferably, that's what I use. And the hair is out 002. Feet, once again, def. And def. Okay, now that that's done, we just have the... It's unnoticeable, this next part. The Blender won't tell you that you've made this error. But basically what you want to do is often, for Genshin models specifically, the UV map will be named UV map. We do not want that. We want to name it to map 1. I have a mass rename script for UV maps, so let me just go find that. Here it is, UV map, yep. So in scripting, make a new script, or just use a script that's already here. After that, hide bones. Highlight everything, run the codes. And I think it should all be renamed now. Yep. Everything is renamed. Emap 1. Second thing you want to do is color set 1. This basically just exports colors. Not every material uses this, I've noticed. But just in case, I like to put it on all my meshes. Because it's a pain trying to figure out which material needs it. So I'm just copying, I'm adding a vertex color to every one of my meshes. I'm just renaming it color set 1, 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 color set 1. You get the idea. You have a message. Done. 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 And now we're done with the blenders a bit. Because I think that's all you need to do. Oh, I was about to delete the bone. So after you've done that, you can export it. But before we export, we're just going to click on your skeleton, create helper bone JSON text. You need to have the skeleton selected for it to work. And you also need to make sure that the list corresponds to the skeleton you selected. So you can't make any changes to the list before you create a helper bone JSON. So f sub helper bone JSON. It should look like this. You see? If it just has 12 lines, that means you forgot to rename every bone of your original skeleton to HXO, which means you may need to redo everything, which is annoying. Need to redo everything, which is annoying. What's going on? HXO, which means you may need to redo everything, which is annoying. What's going on? Okay. HXO, which means you may need to redo everything, which is annoying. Stream did die. Stream did die. Okay. HXO, which means you may need to redo everything. Yeah. Okay. I'm playing. I think. Oh no. Stream did die. Okay. Stream did. Okay. Whew. All right. I think it's back. Yeah, it's back. I don't know what happened there. I can't remember. What did you catch the last part? So yeah, make sure your bone pair list is the same as the bone you selected, and create the helper bone JSON. Otherwise, it won't work. Make sure the skeleton is visible when you selected it. Go into scripting, sub helper JSON, and view text. Save as model.json in your JSON folder. I'll go into the JSON folder later to show you what's in there. And now select the skeleton on your Smash model and export model files to a folder. So we're just going to export here. I'm going to make a new folder, mods, export all of, and hopefully, oh, it's already exported. Sometimes it can take a long time. It depends on the computer. For some reason on Windows 10, didn't die again. And hopefully, oh, it's already exported. Okay, let's see if this works. Works. Alright, it's working. Okay, so I've exported the model files to a folder. Right. Alright, it's... Yeah, I'm gonna mute this stream. I'm watching myself, my own stream. So I've exported now, and I should be able to find the files. But what we want to do first is we want to open Toolbox. Make sure you have Toolbox, right? Toolbox is basically the basic tool you need for any kind of modding. So make sure you've downloaded that. Sure. Whatever. OBS seems to be having some trouble right now. So, but I think it should be back. I'm gonna have OBS on the side now, just in case. But yeah, expect some disconnections occasionally for some reason. Anyway, we're gonna continue. So you want to go into Pyra. My internet's fine. My internet's completely fine. I don't know what's going on. Model body C01. Basically, choose any textures you used before. So we used Outflame 2, Outflame 2, Outflame 3, and we used Deathflame 2, I think. So now that we've done that, why is it like this? Okay. Now we've opened all of that in Toolbox. So everything's open in Toolbox now. And you just want to replace it with whatever textures you used before. So Outflame 2, let's just check. Check here. Outflame 003. So head uses Outflame 003. So we're gonna go into our Hu Tao folder. Smash mods, Hu Tao, and we're gonna go text and hit hair. The color uses the color, right? So we're just gonna replace it. As you can see, height, width, 2048, pretty big. Smash usually uses 512 by 512, so it can take quite a while. You can use multi-threading to make it quicker, but I don't know how that's going to affect the stream, so I'm not going to do that right now. And I've never actually used it before because I only learned about that yesterday. But we're going to continue. Cull and norm usually take less time. Sorry, usually take more time. PRM usually takes less time because it's basically just white and transparent, which is pretty cool. Anyways. Yep, it's just waiting. It's just a lot of waiting. Oh, fuck it. Okay. Hair's on free. Which is painful. You see, if this was a video, I would have edited this out. But here we are. So, yeah, I mean, just gotta sit around, I guess. Anyways, I mean, since I'm, I play Genshin, gonna try and get Ganyu soon. Probably gonna have to pay for her, because I don't have enough Primal Gems saved up, which is painful. Here we are, we're replacing a norm texture now. But yeah. Plus it's Yay Miko. I mean, plus I'm on 50-50. If I lose the 50-50, I'm gonna skip Ganyu. Even though I've been like grinding for her for ages now. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Yay Miko if Ganyu doesn't work. Plus I've heard Yay Miko's pretty nice. Anyways. Make sure cold textures are sRGB and NOR and PRM textures are UNorm. As you can see, the PRM texture will look transparent. That's completely normal. You can barely see it, but actually it looks a bit fogged up in some areas, which is basically whatever. It's a texture. And so now we're going to continue with a face. Face usually takes less time because there's less colors on it. It's basically just, it's skin. So what do you want, huh? the same color everywhere, more or less. Oh yeah. Norm texture. After this, we will need to... We're gonna save all this. We're gonna save all this to where we saved the non-DLB, non-SSBU, and all the files we exported from Blender. We're gonna be sending out all there. PRM texture. See, connection's fine now. I don't know what was happening earlier. I hope I didn't jinx it. Anyways. Ah, shit. I jinxed it, didn't I? I jinxed it. Yep. At least it was just applying textures and stuff. In the VOD, all this is cut out, so you don't need to worry about it stuffing in the middle of a video or whatever. It's just gonna look cut, and it's just gonna be me repeating shit and complaining about how the stream keeps disconnecting for some reason. Gonna look real fucking dumb, anyway. Alright, also the texture's done, so now we file, save as, we go into Hu Tao mods, where we saved all the Blender files. Just save them all there. So now it's done, theoretically. What we're going to do is we're going to go into cross mods. Now, cross mod is a tool that basically... Oh fuck, can I open the file location? Just show me the fucking file location. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to try and find the cross modularized location. Cross mod UI. For some reason, cross mod UI doesn't open in the quick start menu, so I have to open it in the file explorer. Anyway, so now that we're done, we have to go into cross mod UI. Cross mod UI basically shows us exactly how the model is going to look in game. Exactly. The only thing it can't show properly is swing bones, which you add. But other than that, it's basically completely accurate to what you're getting in game. So it's why I like to go through cross mod before bringing it in game first. So we're gonna go into desktop, smash mod, Hu Tao. What the fuck? Okay, smash mod, Hu Tao. Mods and select this folder. Alright, yep. For some reason, cross mods may not like the fact that you made that you have a skeleton file in your exported files. So what you need to do is you go into your smash mods, Hu Tao. You go into where you saved everything. You create a new folder. I'm just going to call it disable, and you drag the skeleton file into there, and now cross mod won't crash, which is good. You know, you don't like things crashing a lot. That's pretty annoying. So you open file, select folder, and as you can see, Hu Tao is looking very cursed right now. This is not what Hu Tao is meant to look like. I'm pretty sure you know that though. This could be a very nice Halloween skin, but Hu Tao is a Halloween character. So this is why you don't want this in the game. So you go into material editor. You can either try and edit it manually, or what you can also do is you can just go with material, select preset, PRM standard, Mario. As you can see, it's completely normal now. Hu Tao. Yeah, that's a good one. What Mario's PRM standard is basically what Mario uses. So it won't look red because you don't have Mario's red textures. So it'll look exactly how you want it to look like. So outframe, And once again, material, select preset, Pyra standard Mario. There we are. Looks completely normal now. And finally, the skin looks fine. Face looks fine, I mean. But you can also just do Mario, just in case. Didn't change anything already. But yeah, there we are. After you've done that, file, export material, save it where the material was. It'll replace the material in there. And now you've just got one last step to go. Remember the JSON I saved earlier? We're gonna go fuck around with that now. I can't remember where I got this, but you need these files: SSH lib and SSH data. Well, you don't need data really, you only need lib. What you do is you get the folder you saved, model.json, you drag it into SSH lib, and model.that thing. Alright, the thing you see on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy, and we're going to go into back to our folder, Hu Tao. We're going to paste it here. Going to bring the skeleton out. As you can see, that's basically the entire mod. So now all I gotta do is I'm gonna go test it in game, see if it works. I'm gonna put it over the C01. I'm not going to go on the Switch because I can't be bothered right now, and I've got Ryujinx working, so we're gonna be reusing Ryujinx. That's the wrong folder. Ryujinx is pretty useful, so if you can ever get Ryujinx working for some quick tests, that can be extremely useful. So open Ryujinx folder, SD cards, ultimate, mods. I'm gonna name it Hu Tao. And basically just copy the file you had for the original fighter. So we're gonna get crossarc out. We're gonna copy that file path. Fighter, eflame, new, body, new, C0. Oh. Yeah, it is. I even made a tutorial on it. You might have seen it. Model, body. Let's just go check in thingy if it works. Eflame, model, body, C01. Okay, that's good. And now we just paste the folder to the files in here. Here we are. So we're gonna go test in Ryujinx now. Do I want the? I won't have any noise for this because it's annoying, and I don't like noise. Hopefully it should work. I don't have it. Oh, fuck this. Okay. Well, we're gonna be here a while because Ryujinx needs to load shaders. Fucking hell, man. Oh, this is gonna be painful. I'm just gonna skip to like. I'm just for later. Skip to like 15 minutes from now. I'm just gonna go play some Genshin, do some Genshin or some shit. Oh, we'll be back in 15 minutes. What? We're gonna be back in 15 minutes. I'm just gonna go play some Genshin. Basically, what Ryujinx is doing right now is that it's loading over shaders. Doesn't even tell what the area is in the console, which is annoying. So I guess let's figure it out.
Pyra!
Right, well, here we are. Finally. Holy shit. As you can see, here's here it is. Hu Tao. Finally working after I purged my shader cache for some reason. She doesn't have any expressions because I didn't do that. But yeah, there we are. There we are. Oh my god, finally. It only took purging my shader cache apparently. Which is cool, I guess. We're gonna play a game and then stream's over, for real. Alright. Yeah, hair is a bit... well, it crashed. Oh, wait, no it didn't. Oh my god! It just froze! Anyways. I mean, it's not that stiff. It's Pyra hair stiff, which is, you know, normal. I usually play Mithra. I'm gonna be honest with you. So if I lose, it's not my fault. It's the game's fault. Yeah, there's still. I mean, what do you want it to emulate? I'm streaming right now. What's gonna happen? But it's there. It's freezing, but it is there. It's on the clothes weather and normal physics. There it is. There she is. There we are. The sword is floating. Because the sword is a separate object, so you gotta be careful for that. But it's there. So, yeah. It freezes. Because it's Ryujinx. The fuck do you want? Huh? There we are. I mean, like I said, you can add swing bones to change the hair physics. But I didn't show that here because it's pretty complex. And I only just learned it myself recently, so I wouldn't be the guy to show it. Oh shit. Don't do anything. That's right. I'm a Pyra player. I'm doing this. I mean, I got a software that downloaded all the shaders for me, so I don't know why it's like this. My guess is just that I'm streaming at the same time. You know, OBS streaming. Plus, I think I might have Genshin Impact open by accident. Yeah, that can kill performance. Run smooth, and then it freezes. Yeah, my guess is that it's streaming. There we are. Well, as you can see, it works. Works well, actually. It works better than I thought it would, which is saying something. Ryujinx works worse than I thought it would, which is also something. It seems to have frozen again, which is disappointing. But that's it. That's a stream. So yeah, thanks for watching. Guess I'll see you later. Goodbye. You'll probably see not the Hu Tao mods, because I still got quite a bit to do with that. You'll be seeing the Shenhe mods probably next week, because I like doing Shenhe. I got some animations for her already. And yeah. Alright. See you guys. Bye bye.